Ridge and Bill are about to ignite a corporate inferno, while Sheila backs Finn into a terrifying corner. The stakes have never been higher, and the Forrester-Spencer war is going nuclear. The air inside Spencer Publications is about to turn completely toxic, and Ridge Forrester is the one bringing the match to light the fuse. We are diving headfirst into the Monday, July 13th episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, and the drama is absolutely off the charts. Ridge does not just walk into Bill Spencer's office, he invades it. Storming through those heavy glass doors, the Forrester patriarch is a man possessed by pure, unadulterated rage. He slams his hands down on the mahogany desk, leaning in so close to Bill that the sheer venom in his voice could cut glass. Ridge is entirely convinced that the current apocalypse tearing his family apart is a direct result of the Spencer patriarch's poisonous influence. The corporate fashion war has officially bled into their personal lives, and Ridge is ready to burn the Spencer empire to the ground to protect his own. Bill Spencer sits behind his desk, the ultimate puppet master, a smug, infuriating grin plastered across his face. He welcomes the hostility. He thrives on it. Ridge unleashes a verbal hurricane, laying the blame for the entire Forrester family crisis squarely at Bill's feet. Ridge points the finger directly at Bill for the catastrophic fallout between Brooke Logan and Katie Logan Spencer. Brooke and Katie are at each other's throats, their sisterhood fracturing into a million irreparable pieces, and Ridge screams that it is all because of Bill. Ridge fiercely believes that Bill is manipulating Katie, feeding her ego, and weaponizing her against Forrester Creations. The tension in the room is suffocating as Ridge demands that Bill back off, but Dollar Bill is not about to surrender an inch of his newly claimed territory. But Ridge does not stop there. He pivots his furious assault to the younger generation, bringing the devastating heartbreak of Electra Forrester into the crosshairs. Ridge is absolutely disgusted by Will Spencer's recent actions, and he knows exactly where Will learned his ruthless behavior. Ridge screams that Will kept his mouth shut about Hope Logan's shocking defection to Logan, the secretive new jewelry line, and the explosive acquisition of the Hope for the Future diamond, all because of Bill's toxic business-first mindset. Ridge accuses Bill of brainwashing his son, teaching Will to prioritize corporate espionage and bottom-line profits over human decency and the woman he supposedly loved. Ridge paints Bill as a soulless corporate shark who is actively destroying the lives of everyone in his orbit just to score a victory for Logan. Bill fires back, his voice dripping with arrogance and absolute defiance. He refuses to apologize for a single thing. To Bill, the business world is a battlefield, and trade secrets are the ammunition. Bill coldly and calculatingly defends Will's silence, insisting that there is absolutely no reason why confidential corporate strategy should be shared just because of personal relationships. Will works for Logan now. Logan is Forrester's direct competition. Therefore, Will could not tell Electra the truth. It is that simple to the Spencer patriarch. Bill mocks Ridge's emotional outrage, laughing in the face of Forrester's crumbling empire. He fiercely defends Katie, defending the House of Logan, and gloating about the runaway success they are about to achieve. The psychological warfare between these two titans is reaching a boiling point, and neither man is willing to back down. Meanwhile, across town, the sterile, white hallways of the hospital are about to become a terrifying psychological battleground. John Finn Finnegan is trapped. He is completely backed into a corner by the one woman who haunts his every waking moment. Sheila has cornered her son, and she is playing the ultimate, desperate victim card. Sheila is weeping, pleading, and using every manipulative tactic in her extensive arsenal to break through Finn's defenses. She has officially signed the divorce papers. Her marriage to Deacon Sharp is over. She has given up the man who no longer wants her, and now, she is spinning that massive loss into a guilt trip designed specifically to suffocate Finn. She claims she has nothing left in this world except her blood, her son, and her grandson, Hayes. Finn stands there, paralyzed by the sheer audacity of her relentless demands. The walls are closing in on him. He has repeatedly told Steffi Forrester Finnegan that he is always on her side, that he puts his family and his wife first, above all else. But no matter how hard he tries to escape, they always circle back to the looming, terrifying shadow of Sheila's presence. Finn firmly and desperately reminds Sheila that Steffi has drawn an absolute, non-negotiable line in the sand. Steffi does not want Finn, and she certainly does not want baby Hayes, anywhere near Sheila. Finn tries to hold his ground, his voice shaking with the weight of the impossible position he has been forced into, but Sheila is not taking no for an answer. She is a woman with nothing to lose, and that makes her incredibly dangerous. Sheila drops a bombshell demand that sends a cold shiver down Finn's spine. She doesn't just want access to Hayes, she wants Finn to facilitate the impossible. Sheila begs Finn to set up a meeting with Steffi. A 2-minute, face-to-face meeting with the woman who despises her more than anyone else on earth. Sheila desperately claims that if she can just have a brief conversation with her daughter-in-law, she can make Steffi see that she is no longer a threat. She wants to prove that she has changed, that she is a reformed woman who just wants to love her family. Finn's eyes widen in sheer panic. He knows that even suggesting this to Steffi will trigger an apocalyptic explosion in his marriage. Finn is caught in the ultimate crossfire, trapped between the suffocating desperation of his birth mother and the fierce, protective wrath of his wife. The dread is actively creeping into the Forrester Cliff house. Taylor Hayes is a woman on the edge, her nerves frayed to the absolute breaking point. Taylor has just received the phone call from Deacon confirming that Sheila actually signed the divorce papers. But instead of relief, a sickening wave of paranoia washes over the renowned psychiatrist. Taylor knows the truth. She knows the monster that lurks beneath Sheila's skin. Taylor is seriously questioning whether Sheila has actually changed like she claims she has, or if this entire reformed persona is just a brilliant, theatrical act designed to lower their defenses. The psychological toll of Sheila's existence is heavy, and Taylor is second-guessing every single move the villainess makes. Every time Taylor is in the same room as Sheila, she jumps. The trauma is visceral, deeply embedded in her psyche. While Sheila has never actually pulled a gun on her specifically, Taylor knows the violent, bloody history of the woman she is dealing with. The sheer unpredictability of Sheila is enough to keep anyone awake at night, and Taylor is currently living in a state of constant, suffocating anxiety. She realizes, with a horrifying clarity, the massive danger she put herself in by falling in love with Deacon Sharp and pursuing a relationship with him while he was still entangled with Sheila. Taylor crossed a dangerous line, and now she is terrified that the consequences are about to come crashing down on her family in the most devastating way imaginable. Taylor paces the floor, her mind racing with worst-case scenarios. She fully believes that Steffi will never, ever change her position on letting Sheila into their lives. Steffi is an immovable object when it comes to protecting her children, and Taylor knows that her daughter's fierce, protective rage is entirely justified. But that absolute refusal creates a terrifying paradox. If Steffi refuses to yield, and Sheila refuses to walk away, something has to break. Taylor does not see any possible scenario where Sheila gets what she wants peacefully. And a Sheila who is denied what she wants is a Sheila who resorts to extreme, sinister measures. The ticking time bomb has been armed, and Taylor can hear the countdown echoing in her own mind. The impending collision of all these explosive plots is hurtling toward a catastrophic climax. Ridge is declaring all-out corporate warfare on Bill, a battle that threatens to destroy the financial and emotional stability of both legacy families. Will and Elektra's romance is collateral damage in a war they did not start, poisoned by the very trade secrets that Bill is using to build his new empire. Finn is drowning in the manipulative tears of a mother he cannot save and a wife he cannot betray. And Taylor is paralyzed by the creeping realization that the villain they thought they had contained is currently roaming free, armed with nothing left to lose and a desperate hunger for the family she claims as her own. The battle lines are drawn in blood and silk, and no one is making it out unscathed. Ridge's relentless assault on Bill's character continues to echo through the halls of Spencer Publications. He refuses to let Bill off the hook for the emotional wreckage left in the wake of Will's secrecy. Ridge fiercely argues that a real man, a man with honor, would have warned Elektra about the impending corporate strike. He paints Will as a coward who hid behind his father's ruthless directives, allowing Elektra to be completely blindsided by Hope's betrayal and the theft of the Forrester spotlight. But Bill just leans back in his leather chair, steepling his fingers with maddening calm. He counters that Ridge is simply projecting his own failures onto the Spencers. Bill sharply reminds Ridge that Forrester Creations failed to appreciate Hope, failed to utilize Eric's designs properly, and failed to secure their own future. In Bill's eyes, the Spencers didn't steal anything, they simply picked up the crown that the Forresters carelessly dropped in the dirt. Back at the hospital, the suffocating tension between Finn and Sheila reaches a critical mass. Finn's heart pounds against his ribs as he looks into the tear-filled eyes of the woman who gave him life, yet has brought him nothing but pain. Sheila senses his hesitation, that microscopic crack in his armor, and she immediately exploits it. She steps closer, her voice dropping to a desperate, haunting whisper, promising that she will cause no trouble, that she only wants to heal the fractured bonds of their family. But Finn knows better. The memories of her past atrocities flash through his mind like a horrific nightmare. He knows that granting her this 2-minute meeting with Steffi is akin to throwing a lit match into a powder keg. Finn is paralyzed by the agonizing choice before him: deny his biological mother her one dying wish for redemption, or betray the fierce trust of the wife who has fought so hard to keep their family safe from this exact monster. Will Ridge destroy Bill, or will Sheila's sinister trap destroy Steffi and Finn first? Drop your wildest theories in the comments below, and subscribe for our next explosive B&B breakdown.